All right, welcome back. In this video, we're going to add um, an image that we're going to cut out here. I'm just going to do a simple star, Texas star, just to keep it easy. And then I'll do another quick video on adding some text. Um, or I just did some initials inside a circle. I think that came out pretty neat. So this video, we're going to go ahead and do that. First thing I want to do is I'm going to do this work on side one. So I'm going to go ahead and make that active. All right. I'm going to actually turn or hide, make all the other parts non-visible. So side one, that's active. Okay, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to insert what's called canvas. So I'm going to insert an image. So this is a little bit different. Um, if you click on that class stuff, you'll be able to find this image as well. Um, so I'll have this image in the class stuff folder. It's not there right now, but it will be. Um, so we'll click star, we'll click insert, and it's going to ask where I want to insert that, and I'm going to insert it on this face right here. And you're going to see it's going to drop that onto that face. I'm just going to move it. I am going to move it out of the way. It's going to make things a little bit easier to do our sketching. It's still in line with that face. I just moved it over. And this is where we're going to be able to do all of our modeling. And I'm going to click OK. All right, so that's got it dropped there. Um, and I'm going to start a new sketch. And I want to make sure I click on the face where I'm going to draw that. It's going to bring that all into context. So I'm actually going to end up doing all of my drawing here. I'm going to resize it, and then I'm going to move it to where I want to place that. So first thing I'm going to do is, this is a fairly simple drawing here. I'm actually just going to draw this out. It's just a series of lines, not very complicated, just straight lines. So I'm going to go up here and grab my line tool. By the way, the shortcut command for line is L. Just type L on your keyboard. And I'm going to come up here and I'm going to hover about over where that point is. And I'm just going to click and drag that down. All right, click, and I'm just going to drag this around. Clicking, not click and hold, just click at each point of the star. And it does not have to be exact. I'm just looking to get this close. Okay, click, come down. And I'm basically just drawing out a star. So not super complicated. The key is making sure that I click to that end point, all right, and that'll close everything in, all right, and you can kind of see this one's a little bit off. I'm going to press escape to get out of that. This one's a little bit off of that. I'm just going to, I can move that around, and you can see I was able to move that a little bit, and that looks pretty good. So I'm gonna grab the trim tool. I'm gonna trim off these interior lines. I do not need them there. All right, and that's the start of it. So now I'm gonna go around and I'm actually gonna trace out these inside shapes as well. I find it easier to zoom in so you really just have one shape in there. Again, go back to my line tool, L, and just get close to those. Sometimes it's easier to turn your snap off. Right now my snap is on, so it's going to want to snap to those lines. I find it easier to turn that off. And I'll just click and drag to draw these out. And again, you can see it's not perfect, but it's pretty close to where those need to be. And just making sure that I stop at that end point. All right. So I'm just going to go ahead and I'll head around and I'll draw all these out. Okay, so I've got everything drawn out. Press escape to get out of the line tool. So I've got everything drawn out for the actual shape that I'm tracing. I can, if I wanted to, I can do some little modifications to just get this to line up a little bit nicer. I think this is gonna be just fine. Um, so I'm not too worried about it. I think this is gonna look great. It's off by such a small amount that it's not worth um, getting it exact. So once I've got this drawn out here, the next thing I want to do is I'm going to add a circle to this, and you'll kind of see how this is all going to come together once we do our extrusion. This part here is actually going to be metal. This is going to get cut out here as well as some circle shapes around the outside. So I'm going to grab my circle tool. Again, the shortcut for that is C. I'm going to eyeball the middle. So it's right somewhere around where all of these kind of meet up. I'm just going to get this close. I'm going to click and I'm going to start to drag this out. Um, so I've got a circle. Um, it looks pretty good right about there. Um, let's make this, I'm going to make this circle 14.75. All right, and again, you just want to keep an eye on that and get that to be close to what you want it to be. Um, and you can kind of see I've got about an even amount on all of these points. I think this can actually come just down a little bit. This circle can actually just get moved down just a tiny bit. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to click on Modify, and I'm going to go to Move, and I'm going to select my circle. And from here, I can actually just drag this down. It's probably going to drag it a large amount. All right. I'm going to do negative, let's do 0.25, and let's see what that looks like. So I think even a little bit less. Let's go negative 0.2. And I'm just looking. I actually think it can move to the one side a little bit along my X. I'm going to go negative zero point 0.1. And you can see it just moved it over a little bit. So I'm looking to make sure I have about an even amount on these points that goes through. So I'm just going to go ahead and click OK. Okay, so now that I've got the circle where I want that to be, um, the next thing I want to do is I do need to resize this. It's a little bit too big. I actually want to resize this to about 6.5 inches. Right now it's at almost 15. So what I'm going to do is go up here to Sketch, under Modify, go to Sketch Scale. I'm going to select everything for that shape. And then I want to select the point where I'm going to scale this from. So I'm actually just going to click and just select the center of the circle. Now it's 14.75 and I want it to be 6. So I'm going to, my scale factor is going to, or 6.5. My scale factor is going to be 6.5 divided by 14.75. And what that'll do is that will make it exactly 6.5. And I'm going to press enter. So now you can see this, I've got my shape. So this is actually going to be open. This is going to be open. This is going to be metal. And then these will all be open. You'll see once we do this. So I no longer need to keep that, they call it a canvas. So I'm going to turn that off. So now what I want to do is I want to center this over here. So what I found works the best. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually just going to draw a line straight across. All right, make sure that that's straight. Okay, and now what I'll be able to do is I can grab the line tool again And now you can see it will snap to the middle. And I can draw this line straight up, and I'm just going to type in 7 inches up. Enter. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this midpoint to that point right there. So I'm going to grab my modify, move. I'm going to select everything, my shape over here that I want to move. I want to move it from one point to another point. So for this, I'm going to have to zoom in, and I want to make sure I'm grabbing the center of this circle. All right, it's a little bit difficult because I've got all these points here in the middle. The center of the circle is actually this point right here. So that's my first point, my point that I'm going to start to. And then I'm going to zoom back out, and I'm going to move it to this point right here. And you'll see it's just going to bring that right over. Okay, I think that's a little bit high. All right, I'm just going to click OK. I think it's a little bit high, so I'm going to change this to, let's try 6 inches. Okay, let's try 6. All right, looks like I'm going to have to move this again. All right, so let's go modify, move. I'll select everything. All right, I'm going to start point, zoom in. All right, I'm going to move it from here to here. You can see that moved it right down. I think that's a little bit better. So I click OK. So we'll make that line 6. Okay. Hopefully I'll update that in the video, but we'll make that line 6. So now that I've got this drawn out, actually I don't need this line anymore. I'm going to delete it. It'll make my extrusions a little bit easier. And I click Finish Sketch. Okay. So I've got that done. I'm going to go to Extrude. I'm going to click on these shapes to extrude them. And again, my material thickness is 0.1 inch. All right, and I'm going to make this a negative 0.1. It'll cut that out. And now you can see that's the shape that I'm going to cut out. So stay tuned for the next video. I'll show you what this looks like so far. How this is kind of starting to come together. All right. So you can see. I zoom out. So you can start to see I've got my cutout here. So if I wanted, I'll show you how we can just take this cutout and place it over here as well. So I'll cover that in another video. But I'm going to do a different. I'm going to do my initials inside a circle for this side, so it'll be a little bit different. So depending on what you want to do, if you want to do something different, you can go through the steps for a different image, or you can do the same image, or you could do some initials. So also, we have a couple different options as far as what we can do. But you can see it's starting to come together. So stay tuned for the next one.